Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got another crazy video. Finally, FaZe Dubs and FaZe Clan both opening up on the FaZe Dubs cheating scandal. Dubs did confirm that he was 100% banned from Fortnite by Epic for 30 days, but he and FaZe Clan do claim he is innocent. Now, they tried to prove his innocence through a 40-minute live stream hosted by FaZe Dubs and FaZe Seabass going over the replays of the games where he was accused of cheating. And I will say out front, after watching this 40-minute stream multiple times, his cheating incident does look a lot less malicious than it initially did. But the question still wavers whether or not is this still cheating and how bad of cheating is it? And we covered it a little bit yesterday. Some players coming out of the woodworks and tweeting hashtag free Dubs and saying they do not think he was cheating. But do they just say this because they believe what Dubs was doing is almost necessary to do in competitive play and that they do it themselves as well? In today's video, we're going to try to answer all of these questions, and I'm going to leave it open for you guys to give your opinion down below in the comments on whether or not you think it's cheating, how bad of cheating do you think it is, and should Epic Games be banning players for this. I'm also going to show you guys what Seabass and Dubs said at the beginning of his stream, where they did go over the replays, which if you guys do want to see that full 40-minute stream, the link is down below. It is super important to understand every perspective in this situation, which is what we're going to try to do in this video. We're going to try to give Dubs' perspective, Epic's perspective, other pro players' perspectives, and the players who died to Dubs and Waffles' perspective in those games. We're going to do all of that in this video, guys, but first, congratulations to Statics on winning the V-Bucks from the last video. I've sent you a DM on Instagram. All you gotta do is reply to me and show the proof of you liking the video, being subbed, and having noties on. And if you guys want a chance to win V-Bucks like Static did, all you have to do is drop a like on this video right now, leave a sub, turn noties on, and then drop a comment with either your Instagram, your Twitter, or your Discord tag, and we'll be announcing the winner with a shout out in the next video. But now, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. And first and foremost, let's start off with Epic Games, because they did ban him for 30 days because they 100% believe he was cheating. And the rule that we believe Epic Games banned FaZe Dubs for is this one, 8.2.2. Players may not work together to deceive or otherwise cheat other players during any match. Collusion. Examples of collusion include the following: teaming, players working together during the match while on opposing teams. Planned movement, agreement between two or more opposing players to land at specific locations or to move through the map in a planned way before the match begins. Communication, sending or receiving signals, both verbal and non-verbal, to communicate with opposing players. Now, this is the same rule that Creo, Bucky, Slacks, and Keys were banned for when they were abusing Storm Surge by shooting each other and healing over and over every single game. And in that video, I mentioned that I wasn't 100% sure that all of those players got together in a call and actually planned it out. But that doesn't matter. The fact is, they worked together in the Fortnite Championship Series to abuse Storm Surge, which hurt other players. I looked at it more like a silent gentleman's agreement. These guys played against each other in scrims a lot, they knew what each other did, and they figured out there was a way for them to avoid Storm Surge by just shooting each other, but not killing each other, and they got banned for 60 days for doing this. So in this situation, whether or not Dubs and Waffles were in a call planning everything out doesn't really matter to Epic Games. What matters to them is whether or not they believe that Waffles and Dubs had some type of agreement where they don't shoot each other, but they shoot all the other players. Which, if you do take a look at all 6 games in the replays, you will see that Waffles and Dubs never once did damage to each other, but every other single player who did land at the rig was damaged by either Dubs or Waffles. So Epic Games decided that they believe Dubs and Waffles had some type of agreement, whether it was silent or not, that they wouldn't shoot each other but would shoot other players who land at the rig. So that's how I see Epic Games' perspective right now. But let's move on and let's take a look at Dubs' perspective and other pro players' perspectives like Chap. First, let's take a look at the beginning of FaZe Dubs' stream today with Seabass, where they explain their overall thoughts. Roll it.
So I just want to show you guys, right now, I'm banned for 30 days. And I just want to explain to you guys my part of the story and show you guys the replays from the Cash Cup and all that. But also say what's up to Seabass. I'm on a call with Seabass right now. He just wanted to be here with me. Say what's up.
Guys, what's going on? So yeah, I'm here to kind of just help Danny share a little bit of this perspective. Obviously, we learned about the ban 2 days ago. So for anyone who's listening who's not familiar, I'm Seabass. I'm behind the scenes with FaZe Clan, and I work closely on a lot of the things we do, including Fortnite. And when we saw the original video that got posted, I think we had a pretty similar response, just to be honest, that a lot of the community did was like, what was like an eyebrow raise, like what's going on here, right? Like what are we looking at? Why did this happen? You know, we kind of wanted answers, and it was definitely concerning. But the more that we talked to Danny about it, the more we looked into it, and after we saw the footage from every single game that was played in this tournament, Danny recorded it all a couple days ago. He sent it to us. We went through all of it, and you know, we all individually at the company came away with the understanding that there's nothing wrong with any of the way that this played out, and it became clear that one of two things had happened: either the video that got posted maybe had some malicious intent, or maybe it just got taken the wrong way. Why it was posted isn't really important. The only fact of the matter is just that it's clear that it got turned into something that it wasn't. And unfortunately, it's pretty easy to draw some false opinions based on a pretty short amount of information. So what we're doing here today to bring this back on the topic is we're going to go through those replays just like we saw ourselves. Unfortunately, as Danny will show you, he can't actually go into the game and look at them anymore because his account's been restricted. But like we said, he already recorded them all and sent them to us earlier, so he still has them, and you can load those up now.
All right, yeah.
So again, the link to this full 40-minute stream where he goes over the replays is down below in the description. I recommend that you guys take a look at it and watch the entire thing. I've seen it multiple times now, and it's really hard to tell whether or not FaZe Dubs was actually in a call with Waffles, or if they just do have this understanding and agreement that they don't shoot each other, but will shoot other players. And again, that's one of the big topics in this video, whether or not that type of agreement and understanding should be bannable. To Epic Games, it is, which is why they were banned, but to some pro players, they say it is almost necessary because if you don't do it, you're stupid. For example, Chap, he opened up about this on his stream, and he basically said that, yeah, Dubs and Waffles did have an agreement, but guess what? Himself and a bunch of other pro players also have agreements too, and he explained it as splitting drops. Let's go ahead and take a look at a clip where Chap explains exactly what splitting a drop means. Roll it.
Isn't it weird though that he W keys everyone at Rig except that guy who happens to be in his friend group? Well, that is like that is what splitting a drop is. Like, okay, I don't even know how to explain this, but let's say Lazy, right? One solo cannot take all of Lazy, right? So let's say one solo gets this half and then another solo gets this half, right? Because like that just makes sense. Like one guy can't claim all of Lazy Lake, and you can't fight every game off spawn, so this has to be cut in half, right? And then if a guy lands on my side, I'm going to push him and fight him, and if I'm this guy, I'm not going to third party the fight, because if it's in a tournament, either of these two guys can then in a later game be pissed and push and kill me. That's just like smart off spawn playing. Like that's not teaming. That's just how you play the game.
So Chap's perspective here is that it is not teaming. You're splitting a drop, you have this agreement that you're not going to fight, which he then later confirms that yes, he believes Waffles and Dubs had an agreement. Roll the clip.
Are you on his side? I mean, there's just no way to prove whether or not he's in a call with Waffles and teaming. It's clear that they have an agreement to not fight each other off spawn, but so does everyone else. So like, are we gonna ban everyone who splits a POI? I don't know.
So that's Chap's perspective. He thinks they do have some type of agreement, and so does Epic Games. That's why they banned him, but Chap thinks it shouldn't be bannable. And in terms of a lot of the other pro players who are also defending Dubs on Twitter, it's the same thing. They also think this shouldn't be bannable because they and so many other players probably do it. So the big question is, should this be bannable? And before you come up with your final opinion, let's take a look at one more perspective, and that's going to be the players that were landing at the rig that weren't Dubs or Waffles. Waffles. For example, Arnady or any of the other players that were killed, which you guys would have seen on Dub's stream. I mentioned it in the beginning of the video. Dubs and Waffles did 0 damage to each other. They never once shot each other. But every single other player who did land at the rig, and again, if you guys take a look at the replays, you'll see that several different players landed there. Every single one that did land there were shot at one point at least by Dubs or by Waffle. Not a single player was able to land over there without getting shot by them. Yet Dubs and Waffles were able to land there every single game and somehow not shoot each other, which I believe is a big reason why Epic Games did ban them, and also a big reason why Chap did say that yes, they do have an agreement. Of course they do. But now think about it. Put yourself in the shoes of someone like Arnady, for example, who landed at the rig, and he has no idea about this agreement that Dubs and Waffles might have. And that's probably because, hey, he doesn't play in the same pro scrims that they play in because he's not invited. It's a very exclusive group of like 100 to 200 or 300 players. And anybody can qualify for these final Cash Cup games. Well, he ends up going to the rig and he gets shot by both of these players, and he sees that neither of them are shooting each other, but they're shooting him. So he thinks he's being teamed on, which is why the exposed video was made. Now, is that fair to Arnady or Pawn or any of the other players who did land there? Should they be put in a situation where they are going to get shot by a couple of players and those players will not shoot each other? There was actually a really good Reddit comment that summed up exactly what I'm thinking. Let me go ahead and read it to you. It was posted by The Way I Am 313, and this was in response actually to that Chap clip. He said, "I get what Chap is saying, but what is Arnady supposed to do in this situation? Or let's say you qualify for a tournament through open qualifiers. You aren't in their Discord that lays out everyone's loot path, and you don't play in all of their custom scrims. The two players splitting the drop at the rig essentially have an agreement they won't shoot each other. Then you, the third party, which is Arnady in this situation or anybody else who goes there, is cluelessly landing there without realizing you are about to have 0 chance to getting out alive. That is, if Dub sees someone that isn't Waffles, he's gonna beam them. Same for Waffles. Epic wants to make the game as inclusive as possible, so they're not going to stand for that stuff. Epic Games doesn't give a crap about your splitting POIs, custom scrim rules, or no fighting off spawn rules. They looked and saw 2 players that know each other and do not fight each other. Then someone else comes in and they take him down. Much of what Chap, Dubs, and Seabass are arguing is completely irrelevant. Also, everyone does it is not a valid argument. So that's the perspective of the players who feel like they're getting cheated on when they land at the rig with Dubs and Waffles. Overall, guys, I tried to cover everybody's perspective here. It's hard to say who is in the right, who is in the wrong. At the end of the day, Epic Games does make the final decisions, and their decision was that Dubs and Waffles were in the wrong, and this isn't going to be allowed. Let me know, though, what you guys think down below in the comments. Don't forget, if you want to enter the giveaway, drop a like on the video, sub, turn noties on, and leave a comment with your Instagram, Twitter, or your Discord tag. That's going to be the end of the video. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. I'm out of here. Peace.